Open-world RPGs are some of the most immersive experiences in gaming. Some of these worlds are bigger than entire countries in real life, filled with towns, dungeons, and usually charismatic NPCs. Today we're diving into the best open-world RPGs out currently. Oblivion's back, and it looks like it finally stopped eating mud for breakfast. The remaster brings sharp lighting, clean textures, and updated faces that don't look like melted wax statues.
I'm Brother Joffrey. What do you want?
Combat's still janky, dialogue still hits that weird Bethesda rhythm, but somehow it all clicks. You're swinging swords, shouting at cultists, stealing from nobles, same chaos, new coat of paint. The nostalgia hits different, when the trees sway properly and the water reflects more than just your regrets. It's Oblivion, but it no longer fights you every time you load a save. Most RPGs tell a story. Bannerlord makes you write one. You don't start as a chosen one, a legendary hero, or even a particularly important figure. You start as a nobody, scraping by with a handful of mercenaries trying to carve out a life in a brutal medieval world. But over time, you become a legend. Maybe you rise through the ranks of an existing kingdom, proving your worth in battles and political schemes. Or maybe you forge your own empire, uniting or conquering the fractured lands of Calradia under your banner. This one you can honestly spend thousands of hours in if you wanted to, especially with mods available. The sheer depth of Mountain Blade are in its systems. You can play it like a grand strategy game, managing armies, influencing nobles, and controlling the economy, or you can charge headfirst into battles, fighting alongside your troops in massive chaotic skirmishes. Every choice you make, who you marry, which wars you fight, which nobles you befriend, shapes the fate of your story. Maybe you'll become a feared warlord, maybe you'll be a cunning diplomat, or maybe you'll just run a trade empire, amassing wealth without ever drawing a sword. There's always something new to do, and the freedom Bannerlord offers is unmatched in the RPG space. Next up, we have The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and this list wouldn't be complete without it. This one is often considered the pinnacle of open-world RPGs, and for good reason. It combines breathtaking visuals, a perfect story, and a deep combat system, adding up to hundreds of hours of content. You step into the boots of Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter on a quest to find his adopted daughter Ciri, who's been hunted by mysterious forces known as the Wild Hunt. The main quest is emotionally charged, with tons of difficult moral decisions and choices to make. Witcher 3 is one of the games that truly showed how your choices in the game have meaningful consequences rippling throughout the world. The combat is fluid and rewarding, with a focus on strategy, magic, and swordplay. The animation might feel a little bit dated by today's standards, but you'll quickly forget about that once you start playing. It's the storytelling that truly shines. The rich dialogue, unforgettable acting, and gripping plots make The Witcher 3 one of the greatest RPGs ever made. Now we've got another heavy hitter in the RPG genre, and possibly one of my favorite games of all time. Elden Ring is a masterclass in game design, brought to you by the creators of Dark Souls and Bloodborne. It's a challenging open-world RPG set in the hauntingly beautiful world of the Lands Between, where you play as the Tarnished. Nothing else really compares to the sense of discovery you get with this game. The world is crafted with perfection, vast, full of secrets, and entirely up to you to explore. There's no hand-holding. Instead, the game encourages you to go out and find your own path, whether that's by battling formidable bosses or uncovering hidden dungeons. The open-world design allows for a sense of freedom rarely seen in RPGs. Combat is tough, just like in Dark Souls, but it's fair, rewarding, and full of options. You can customize your character's abilities, magic, and combat system to suit your playstyle. The difficulty is part of what makes this game so satisfying, but not so hard that you'll get stuck, if you know what you're doing. If you haven't played it or completed its expansion yet, now's the time to get back into it. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is the most legendary open-world RPG of all time, and also one of the most modded games out there, offering an expansive world filled with adventure, danger, and discovery. As the Dragonborn, you're tasked with stopping the return of an ancient dragon god. But your journey is anything but linear. Skyrim offers a massive world brimming with quests, dungeons, factions, and side stories, and you're free to explore it all at your own pace. The sense of freedom here is like nothing else. Sure, Oblivion was big, but this one offered so much more variety. You can follow the main story, sure, but the game encourages you to wander, explore, and get lost in its many side activities. Want to join the Thieves Guild, become a powerful mage, or maybe you'd rather just become the best blacksmith in the land? The endless customization, whether it's your character, gear, or skills, ensures that every playthrough offers something different. Skyrim remains one of the best RPGs ever made. Now let's quickly talk about instant gaming, the best way to get your games for less money than you would from retail. Whether it's new releases, bestsellers, or upcoming pre-orders, you'll find them at a discount for PC, PlayStation, and more. Unlike shady key marketplaces, instant gaming only sells keys from authorized resellers, so you're getting legit products at great prices. Plus, with a top Trustpilot rating and 24/7 customer support, you can buy with confidence. Personally, I've been using their service for a while, and always had a great experience. And that's why we're happy to partner with them. Check out Instant Gaming through the link in the description and start saving today.
Don't extend this far.
Yeah.
Starfield is a space RPG that offers a lot to explore. Over 1,000 planets, customizable ships, and base building systems that provide hours of content. While it's hard to deny the sheer scale of the game, the story doesn't hit the same highs as some of Bethesda's previous work. But it's a solid foundation for the game, and the character interactions, particularly with companions, offer a nice sense of depth, even if they're not always the most groundbreaking. Where the game shines is in its customization and freedom. If you enjoy crafting your own experience, whether that's building a ship, upgrading your base, or creating your character, the systems here are well designed and provide enough to keep you engaged. Starfield won't revolutionize the genre, but it's a solid entry for those looking for a space game with a lot of content and a satisfying progression loop. It's not perfect, but it offers 100+ hours of gameplay, making it good value as far as video games go.
What? No Barrett? Let me guess.
We've got a game that's always split the community. Stranding. Now it's back, bigger, bolder, and weirder than ever before with its sequel Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Sam Porter Bridges heads deep into post-apocalyptic Mexico and Australia, reconnecting a shattered world through the chiral network. Kojima's team has cranked everything up. Faster movement, tighter combat, and signature blend of action, stealth, and strand systems feel more refined than ever. The visuals are stunning on PS5, but it's the storytelling that hits hardest. Strange, emotional, unforgettable, classic Kojima in the best way. You'll be laying roads, facing off against terrifying new BTs, and pushing through some of the most atmospheric landscapes in gaming. It's a bold reinvention on the Strand genre. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and as always, keep on keeping on. This is one of those games where you don't fast travel. Not because it's inconvenient, but because riding across the world feels good. From misty mountains to desert ruins, Horizon Forbidden West might be one of the most visually gorgeous open worlds ever put together. But it's not just a pretty face. It's dense, detailed, and packed with things to do. You play as Aloy again, navigating a post-apocalypse where nature's taken back the land, and robot dinosaurs roam free like it's normal. And yeah, combat is still super strategic and fun, especially when you're figuring out how to dismantle a giant mechanical thunderjaw, using nothing but tricked out arrows and your wits. The real joy though is the world building. You'll run into abandoned tech labs that tell their own stories, factions with their own messy agendas, and side quests that aren't always boring. It's a place you want to explore, and climbing a tall neck just to reveal the map, still cool, still satisfying.
Take this. It's Wiggenweld potion. That stuff.
Say what you want about lore baggage, but Hogwarts Legacy nails the dream of exploring a wizarding world. From the moment you step into the castle, it's clear the devs were obsessed with making everything feel authentic. Every hallway in Hogwarts is brimming with detail, Moving staircases, hidden rooms, talking paintings, it's packed. But what's cool is that it doesn't stop there. You can leave the castle, hop on a broom, and glide across the Scottish Highlands like it's no big deal. And suddenly you're rescuing hippogriffs, brewing potions in a forest cabin, and stumbling onto a dark arts cave system. The combat's surprisingly punchy too. Spells snap with weight, and stringing them together in duels feels more like an action game than you'd expect. There's crafting, there's looting, there's even creature collecting. It's got layers.
Checkmate.
It might not reinvent the genre, but it doesn't have to. Hogwarts Legacy works because it's immersive, stylish, and just fun to be in. And for a lot of people, that's more than enough. Our next game, Ghost of Tsushima, doesn't waste your time. It's one of those rare open worlds where every single moment feels like it's there for a reason. You play as Jin Sakai, a samurai struggling with honor and survival during the Mongol invasion of Tsushima. And the world around him, it's gorgeous, melancholic, and surprisingly peaceful, even when it's tearing itself apart. You've got your katanas, stances, and gadgets. There's a real rhythm to the combat. Sure, you can run and swing, but the game rewards precision. The kind of thing where one perfect parry is worth more than 10 wild swings. Me personally, I'm a fan of the throwing weapons. But it's not all blade fights and haikus. There's a story here about tradition versus change, about how far you're willing to go to save your home, even if it means becoming something your ancestors wouldn't recognize. It hits harder than you'd expect, especially as Jin slowly lets go of who he was. Even years later, Tsushima's world holds up, and if Ghost of Yote doesn't seem like your jam, this is the samurai game for you. Let me know what you think. But next, we're going to visit the colorful and vibrant world of Pandora. And this one's as visually impressive as you'd expect for a game based on the Avatar films. In Frontiers of Pandora, you play as a Na'vi, exploring the western frontier, a new region teeming with life and danger. The game captures the essence of the films, with towering trees, bioluminescent flora, and those trademark hues of green and blue. Gameplay-wise, it's a first-person action adventure that emphasizes exploration and survival. You need to adapt to the environment, using stealth and strategy to take down RDA forces. The narrative centers around reclaiming your heritage and protecting Pandora from exploitation, resonating with the franchise's core message of humans equals bad, aliens equals good. While it doesn't reinvent the open-world genre, this is a game that a lot of people are sleeping on. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is hands down one of the best designed games ever. It blends exploration, puzzle solving, and action in a way that feels completely organic. The world of Hyrule is vast, and you as Link are free to explore it at your own pace, discovering secrets and challenges around every corner. You're not guided by a linear path or hand-holding. Instead, you're given a huge open world and trusted to find your own way. The game gives you the tools to tackle problems however you want, whether that's climbing mountains, solving environmental puzzles, or defeating enemies with your creativity. The game kind of reminds me of Elden Ring the way it just throws you into its world. The combat is excellent, with a huge variety of weapons and strategies at your disposal. Breath of the Wild truly has a sense of wonder and discovery. From the smallest shrine to the biggest, most epic bosses, everything in Hyrule feels interconnected, and the experience is one of pure joy. It's a game that changes the way you think about freedom in RPGs, and it's easily one of the best games ever made. Let me know what you think is better in the comments, Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. Alright, now let's dive back into Cyberpunk 2077. This one's a story-driven classic, and one of the most immersive games you can ever play. At least it was for me when I played it a couple of years back. The RPG elements have multiple layers, letting you customize V's abilities, appearance, and choices. It's a game that lets you experiment, whether you want to go full-on combat, be a hacker, or rely on social manipulation. The freedom is yours. The little side missions you encounter scratch that completionist itch too. But really, it's a game where every choice you make can have massive consequences. The writing, the voice acting, the animation are some of the best you'll find in gaming. but you wouldn't expect anything less from a game starring Keanu Reeves and Idris Elba. Despite its rough start, Cyberpunk 2077 now stands as a must-play for those who love a cyberpunk world, freedom of choice, and deep storytelling. Plus, if you liked CD Projekt Red's last game, The Witcher, you're bound to love this one.
All we have to do is deliver a letter to Lord
Kingdom
Otto
Come
Bunbury and
Deliverance
we're
2
right back again.
is everything fans of the first game wanted. If you're into RPGs that are grounded in realism, this one hits hard. Set in medieval Europe, it doesn't rely on magic or fantasy tropes. It's all about survival, politics, and simulation. You're a guy trying to get by in a harsh, unforgiving world. You have to eat, sleep, and train to level up. Your character doesn't magically become skilled after a few fights. You need to practice. That might sound tedious to some, but it actually makes everything you do feel earned. What's cool is how natural everything feels. Characters go about their day. They actually respond to how you carry yourself. Be a jerk? They'll treat you like one. Stay cool, you might make a friend. The game makes your decisions matter without rubbing it in your face. If you like the first one, this is definitely a must-play. It's one of the most immersive RPGs out there.
I love you. Both of you.
We love you too.
Fallout 4 doesn't get love from fans quite like New Vegas due to its dialogue system, but it made up for it with one thing: a wasteland that's fun to exist in. The Commonwealth isn't just some scorched desert, it's a weird, colorful, broken sandbox full of stories waiting to be unearthed. The game throws you into post-apocalyptic Boston as a parent searching for their missing kid. But like every Fallout, the main story is kind of just a suggestion. What really sticks are the side quests, stumbling into a vault where people experimented with paranoia, or following the trail of a vigilante robot named the Silver Shroud. That's the juice. There's just something about wandering into a ruined diner, finding an audio log, and suddenly you're caught in a whole subplot. That's Fallout magic. The stories you stumble into while chasing something else entirely, and don't get me started on the base building. I think I spent more time doing that than playing the actual game. Plus you can mod the heck out of it too.
We ask that all be spared the horrors of the fell dragon.
Now, Dragon's Dogma 2 is a bit of an underdog in the open world scene, but it's definitely worth checking out. This game blends classic fantasy elements with exciting combat and exploration. You play as the Arisen, a character tasked with taking down a dragon that's causing chaos in the world. The open world here is filled with dark forests, towering castles, and dangerous creatures. One of the coolest features is the pawn system, where you can recruit AI companions that you can fully customize, and they'll fight alongside you. The combat's fast-paced and dynamic, with plenty of magic and swordplay to keep things exciting. If you're a fan of fantasy RPGs that give you plenty of freedom, Dragon's Dogma 2 delivers that in spades.
Dost thou fight?
Everson.
Tell me, Vinakis, have you ever gone fishing with your son?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey takes you to ancient Greece, where you will play as either Alexios or Cassandra, two mercenaries on a journey full of battles and political drama. The open world is absolutely massive, spanning islands, cities, and ancient ruins. The best part, you've got so many ways to approach missions. Want to go in swords blazing? Do it. Prefer stealth? You've got options. The game's got a rich story that lets you make choices that actually impact how things play out, and the RPG elements let you customize your character and abilities. The naval combat is also a standout. If you're a fan of ancient history, massive landscapes, and all-out action, Odyssey is a must-play. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chornobyl, drops you into the Foreboding Zone, a deadly and mysterious area surrounding the ruins of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. You play as a lone stalker, scavenging for valuable artifacts, dodging deadly mutants, and surviving harrowing anomalies that defy physics. The zone is alive with dynamic weather, eerie sounds, and encounters that make every step a risk. You'll need to carefully manage resources from ammunition to food, as survival hinges on preparation and quick thinking. What truly sets S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 apart is its haunting atmosphere. Whether you're sneaking through abandoned facilities or caught in a terrifying emission storm, the tension is relentless. Add to this a gripping narrative, moral choices, and branching outcomes. You've got an open world like no other. If you're looking for a game that fuses survival horror with deep exploration, S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 promises to be a masterpiece of suspense and storytelling. Now for a game you perhaps didn't expect to see on this list. On paper, Nier Automata's open world doesn't sound revolutionary, but in practice, it's one of the most emotionally layered and mind-bending spaces you'll ever explore. You play as androids, 2B and 9S, fighting in a post-human Earth full of haunting ruins and creeping dread. The world isn't huge, but it's dense with atmosphere, deserts with buried secrets, cities overgrown with greenery, abandoned amusement parks that feel both eerie and kind of beautiful. Combat is fast, stylish, and weirdly elegant. Platinum Games nailed it. But what really makes the open world stick is how it serves the story. There are hidden messages, secret endings, bizarre NPCs who drop philosophical bombs mid-quest. And sometimes the world changes subtly as the story shifts, making you wonder everything you thought you knew. Nier's open world isn't about freedom for freedom's sake. It's about guiding you through an experience you feel more than understand. And honestly, that's what makes it unforgettable.
Been seeing this a lot lately. Couldn't tell you why though.
You can practically smell the dust and whiskey in this one. Red Dead Redemption 2 might be the most realistic open world ever created. Not in a look how many polygons kind of way, in how it behaves. Everything is reactive. Every NPC has a schedule. Every animal is part of the food chain. You could spend hours just fishing, hunting, or riding your horse through foggy swamplands, and it'd feel like time well spent. Play as Arthur Morgan, an outlaw with a soul, caught between loyalty and survival. And that tension bleeds into everything, from robbing trains to sitting around a campfire with your gang.
Up that way, Micah.
It's bursting with detail, and it remembers what you do. Rockstar didn't rush the pace. It trusts you to slow down, take it in, live in it. Red Dead 2 is less about checking off missions and more about existing in the world. It's one of the few games that actually makes that feel rewarding.
And then the Zeppelin and the fire!
A lot of you asked for this one on our last isometric list, so here you have it. Arcanum of Steamworks and Magick Obscura. Quite a long name for a game, right? You're tossed into a crash. Literally, your airship goes down in this wild, unpredictable land caught between magic and technology. Right away you get this feeling. You're not some chosen hero walking into destiny. You're lost, broken, and the world doesn't owe you anything. Playing Arcanum is like stepping into this dusty, weird crossroads, where magic's old power rubs up hard against the cold clang of machines. It's messy and uneven, sure, but that's part of the charm. You pick your path, crank out Steam gadgets, or hurl spells that crack the sky. What sticks with me isn't the perfect combat or the flawless story. It's the feeling that every choice pulls you deeper into a world that doesn't give a damn about you, but still reacts. The moment when a quest you botch spins into chaos, or when your cyborg character tries to understand what magic even is. It's a slow burn, but it's a world that feels like it's still out there, ticking away. It's rough, it's stubborn, but it's different in a way most games today don't even try. But now, let's journey to year 40,000 where Rogue Trader perfectly conveys the tone of its popular setting. Hitting the two key points of the Warhammer 40k universe, grim and dark, it's a sci-fi adventure like few others, with a variety of interesting characters, gameplay systems, and weapons to get to grips with. Rogue Trader's the sort of game you'll be spending a long time playing.
This could be an opportunity.
This one just lets you take the leash off and go full space capitalist psychopath. You're the one owning the ship, making deals, burning planets, handing out death or salvation depending on your mood that day. It's heavy. Gameplay's old school CRPG. Turn-based tactical, crunchy as hell. You got a full crew, deep builds, a million ways to break the system if you're paying attention. One minute you're talking to a demon about philosophy, and next you're dropkicking heretics with a chainsword. It's chaos. Structured chaos, but still chaos. Final Fantasy XV is one of those RPGs that sticks with you. Not just because of its massive world or action-packed combat, but because of its heart. At its core, this is a road trip with friends, a coming-of-age story wrapped in an epic fantasy adventure. You're not just leveling up your characters, you're growing up alongside them, experiencing their struggles, and experiencing their bond as they face impossible odds. This is a game that's built for long play times. There's a massive open world to explore, insane high-level hunts to tackle, and an endless stream of side quests, from fishing to photography to finding the perfect cup noodles recipe. And with the Royal Edition expansions, there's even more content to sink your teeth into. If you're in the mood for a long, emotional RPG that gives you the freedom to explore at your own pace, Final Fantasy XV is it.
One vision broke into many different ones.
Dying Light 2's open world is like a playground built on broken glass. It's dangerous, vertical, and packed full of zombies, constantly trying to kill you, which weirdly makes it awesome. You're parkouring through an infested city, leaping from rooftop to rooftop like it's a daily commute. The traversal is the star here, fluid, fast, and fun. But once the sun sets, the game changes. Nighttime in Dying Light isn't just a visual shift. It becomes a full-on horror game. Stronger infected come out, your tools become limited, and the tension skyrockets. What makes this open world special is how it's built around movement. You start out clunky, scared to leave the safe zones, but by the end you're stringing together wall runs, vaults, and grapples like a parkour god. Some of the stories here are surprisingly solid, with characters that don't just exist to give you errands. My only critique with this one is that it's a little too short, which isn't always a bad thing. Alright, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that sub button. Check us out in the next video on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.